Fish.
The reel developed a grinding noise. The base of the rotor has about 1 mm play. The 2024 Shimano Vanford has been out for a while. Is it a hype, or is there any actual upgrade compared to the first gen? Let's find out. I got my 2500 SHG, the shallow spool high gear model, in early August, and I have been fishing with it for the past 3 months. The reason I bought the 24 Vanford is not just to make a review video like this, but actually the current generation of high-end Shimano spinning reels, including like a Stella, a Twinpower, or Vanquish, have all adopted the so-called infinity loop feature, which actually puts the spool into a super slow oscillation mode, now resulting in very tight and almost parallel line winding. And according to Shimano, this could result in a smoother inner surface under each layer of line, thus lead to reduction of line friction when casting, and in turn resulting in longer casting distance. The infinity loop tends to be kind of problematic when using straight fluorocarbon lines, and the line tends to frequently come off the spool as a ball when casting. So the 24 Vanford does not have this infinity loop feature, so that's why I bought it, to specifically handle those straight fluorocarbon line situations. And the most impressive feature the 24 Vanford has inherited from the 22 Stella to me is the Duracross. The main selling point of Duracross is the upgraded durability of the braking pads, which utilized a new woven pattern of new material that also enabled effortless start, or aka lowered static friction before the spool rotates to release line. And this is super important for a reel designed for finesse application using super thin line. In my field test, the new Vanford's drag was super smooth. I had no concern of fighting decent sized bass with JDM 6-pound test fluorocarbon line.
Fish. Oh, that feels good actually. That feels like a good one. Oh, that's like 2-pounder maybe. Oh, maybe more than 2 pounds. The Vanford. It's a very nice one. Oh.
Also, the drag appears to be very sensitive to adjustment. Losing just one click, I was able to feel the difference. When retrieving, the 24 Vanford definitely feels smoother than the first gen 20 Vanford, but not by much. Also, I was comparing a brand new reel with a 20 Vanford that has seen much use. On the other side, I would say the retrieval smoothness is definitely not the same as, for instance, the 22 Stella, or the 24 Twinpower, or the 23 Vanquish. Even when comparing the brand new 24 Vanford with a 2.5 years old Stella, the difference is obvious. Now, Stella is like melted milk chocolate after 2.5 years with hundreds of fish, but 24 Vanford is just not there. The reason, we'll get to that shortly. Now, as far as the rotation resistance, the 24 Vanford feels pretty much the same as the 20 Vanford. I could not really tell there's a much improvement in the MJL rotor feeling. The resistance felt very similar, and the ease to start or stop also feels very similarly. But the problem comes when retrieve under load. Now, I have to admit, it feels not the most powerful. This is true to all the spinning reels featuring MJL rotor design, especially when presenting higher resistance moving bait, such as shad or finesse crankbait, because the rotor is now easier to stop under higher bait load. It requires more input into the cranking handle, thus feels less powerful. Now, also on the retrieving feeling, one thing that quite disappointed me was literally 15 minutes out of the box, before the 24 Vanford even catches a fish, when I was throwing a 1/8 ounce Okashira head with 2.8 inch Kitech on the back, the reel developed a grinding noise.
要这声音没有？就觉得挺离谱的。
Now, after careful examination, the noise does not persist when the reel has no line across its bell. The noise actually came from the roller. Now, this is not something new for any spinning reels, to be honest. The roller of a spinning reel is the part most likely to have water, sand, or grit intruding the roller bearing and mix up with the grease, thus causing those grinding noise. My Stella FD, which is the 2007 model, has had this issue before. But the FD did not have this issue until it was put in heavy use for 3 long years without even frequent cleaning and greasing service on the roller part. The fact that the Vanford developed this roller noise right away is likely caused by the new type of water-resistant grease that Shimano has been using recently. Either it formed small grits upon contact with water, or the viscosity or stability was not right. The reason I'm saying this is because my new 24 Twinpower had the same issue, although not as soon as the Vanford. Now the Twinpower started to have this issue after like 30 fish or so. Realistically, this noise does not really create too much practical issue immediately. Now it's not like it is introducing an extra vibration or something, but rather sounds annoying and definitely not right for a brand new 24 spinning reel to have it. Now let alone it was a Shimano brand. The 22 Stella, on the other hand, had none of this issue, even after 2.5 years heavy use. When you are fishing under calm conditions, it is very obvious and annoying. Now, considering Shimano's history of being durable, I really hope they look into it and don't let the quality slip like Toyota. To solve this problem, I added 1 drop of the Shimano Blue spray oil into the roller bearing, and the noise was gone immediately. Shimano might have showed that oil is not allowed into the roller, which uses new water-resistant grease, but I just don't care. Okay, grease can be completely removed and swapped to the traditional grease, or after a few years, just swap out the entire roller bearing. Now, in my opinion, these options are way better than to have to listen to the noise, which sounds like a little farm tractor. Now, I'm not saying that each and every 24 Vanford have this same issue. I might just be unlucky and have the one. So please leave me a comment below and let's all find out how many of the 24 Vanford actually have this issue. As far as the durability goes, the 3 months test has not revealed any red flags, and it is also not enough time for a true durability test. But I will say though, the 20 Vanford did actually okay to hold most of its performance after 3 years in hand. When it comes to durability or retaining of the first day feeling of spinning reels, the rigidity of the reel often comes as one of the most critical factors. The material used, the precision and tolerance of the moving parts such as rotor and gears all comes to play. Over time, if the material used to make the reel is not rigid enough, it will inflict small deformation. It can result in the axial distance of 2 gears to shift and create a sloppy retrieving feeling or noise, etc. For the 24 Vanford, CFO material is used in the rotor as a main material for weight reduction. The rotor arms actually flexes very easily just by pushing it with fingers. It doesn't really take too much force at all to actually cause the flex. Now also, the base of the rotor has about 1 millimeter play. I found exactly the same things happening with the 2020 version of the Vanford. Now compared to Vanquish, the rotor arm is also easily flexed, but there's no play in the rotor base. Compared to Twinpower, the rotor arm flexes very little under a lot of force, and absolutely no play in the rotor base. Vanquish, Vanford are in the Maglite series of Shimano spinning reels, while Twinpower and Stella are in the Durable series. So the featherlight weight does come with a sacrifice in some places, and so far I have not seen a super durable, lightweight spinning reel that retains its day one performance after a long period of time. So please keep this in mind when choosing your next spinning reel. In my 3 months of testing so far, I have paired it with 3 rods. The Jackal 2nd Gen Revoltage S65 Ultralight for finesse swim bait or mid-strolling, and then Megabus P5 Destroyer baby plugin for finesse moving baits such as the IXI Shad or OSP, high cut jerkbait, and dual spy baits, and also with 10 reel raised spectra for trout. The Vanford actually pairs very well on all 3 of the rods as far as the balance goes, but my favorite match is the Jackal Revoltage Gen 2 S65 UL. The handle design actually allows you to grip in front of the reel, and I found it very comfortable to shake the rod this way for strolling. Also, finesse swim bait and strolling fits the MGL rotor application pretty well. Now I'm sure it will handle knuckle and drop shot perfectly as well. Now, is the 24 Vanford worthy of owning? Now, if you already own the 20 Vanford, then honestly, I don't really see much difference in performance, and I wouldn't say it's something you should desperately have. But if you are looking to own your first Maglite spinning reel on a budget, then yes, this is a pretty good choice. But I wouldn't use it for long-term heavy-duty applications, such as finesse moving bait or heavy current big fish cover, etc. Now, in the 3 months of field testing, I have not yet really run to any true giant or monster fish to actually put it into an overload test. So I can't really comment on that yet. Let's hope, by the time it reaches 1 year old or so, I will be able to hopefully hook into a true monster using 24 Vanford, and then I will report back how this Maglite spinning reel handles those true monsters. So there you have it, an honest 3 months review of the 24 Shimano Vanford. I hope today's video could provide you with some helpful consideration points when you're deciding for your next spinning reel. Now with that, tight lines until next time.